Madison currently has a vacancy apartment rate of around 3%.
Now, that's 2 points below what is considered a healthy vacancy rate in the United States. More demand from millennials and seniors is making it very expensive to rent in Madison, and many people say they just can't afford it.
Joining us now is Steve Potter, who wrote a feature about all of this in the current issue of Madison Magazine. Welcome. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
So what kind of numbers are we talking about here for rent?
Well, I found that the average studio apartment is going for more than $900 now, and then it can also go all the way up to about $2,000 or almost $2,000 for a 3-bedroom apartment.
And that's if you can find an apartment.
That's if you can find it. It's really very tight market and very expensive.
So what's going on?
So I think it's two things that are going on. The first is a lack of availability. There's just a lot of people looking for apartments. And then you couple that with the lack of affordability as well. Dane County has always had a very steady growth, and the city of Madison has also had a steady growth, as you mentioned, in population, as well as, millennials are renting longer, and some retirees are downsizing from owning to renting.
And is the demand on the rental market increased because of a tight housing market as well? It's a seller's market right now. There's not a lot of inventory on the market, is there?
Indeed, there's not. There is a lot of construction going on, but it's the high-end construction for these rental units, and that's due to high construction costs.
Yeah, you see all the big apartment buildings on East Washington. Mm-hmm. Those are expensive to rent.
Yeah.
Hold a lot of people, but pricey.
Yes, very expensive. There are a number of folks who can afford them, however. So the market is matching with what those folks can afford. Those happen to be between $1,200 and $1,500 for a 1-bedroom apartment.
You profiled a family that really has gone through this, struggled for months to find an affordable place to live. Tell us a little bit about their experience.
Sure. I spoke to one mother, a mother of 2, a family of 4. They thought when they had to move because their landlord was selling their house that they'd maybe take a week to find a place. It ended up taking them 3 months. She was dealing with scammers who were renting or listing places that didn't exist. Landlords weren't calling her back. She ended up having to move her family into an RV camper owned by her parents for a couple months, and then they did finally find a place, but it was just a really difficult struggle.
And why'd they lose the original place?
Their landlord was just selling the place, and I think the new person was probably going to increase the rent beyond their budget.
So people are getting priced out of the market?
Yes.
If you're willing to drive a bit, does it help? Do you find a place in like Mount Horeb or Stoughton? Or?
I focused primarily on the city, but I do think that is what's pushing folks out to the suburbs as well, is just the cost of living and the availability.
Is there anything positive that you found in the rental situation here? Is there a kind of a silver lining in the situation?
I haven't found one, to be honest.
Really?
Everyone that I've talked to had some kind of a horror story. It's not difficult for college students to find a place, but they've got a number of options there. They've got a very set area and a set number of places, and they stay somewhere for a couple years and then they move.
If you're a single person, it'd be pretty tough to rent a place, I would think.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I could afford it if I was single. Just the costs of, let's say, if I got a studio, at almost $1,000 once you include utilities and that, and that's just rent. That's not paying to own.
Wow, bad situation. Yeah. It's probably going to get worse.
Yeah, what do you see coming down the road?
I see that the city is going to try to do some new things with the mayor is interested in what she calls workforce housing, which is not the luxury stuff. So we'll see if they have some movement there. But I'm not sure what else can be done.
It's a really interesting story, and you can read much more about it in the current issue of this month. It's in this month's Madison Magazine.
Steve, thanks for being with us.
Great to see you. Thank you.